Stop scrolling. Do not move past this moment, because what you are feeling right now is not something random, and it is not something your mind created on its own. I am speaking to you. And I have been trying to reach you in ways you almost recognized but chose to ignore. There is a choice in front of you, and you have felt it more than once, in quiet moments when everything else faded away. It is not loud. It does not demand attention, but it lingers in your thoughts and returns when you least expect it. You have tried to delay it, convincing yourself that you need more clarity or the right time to face it. But the truth is, you already understand more than you admit. I do not bring confusion into your life, I bring awareness, and what you are feeling is not confusion, it is hesitation that you have not yet accepted. I have watched you carry something within you that others cannot see, something that has followed you through your days and your silent nights. You continue moving forward, doing what is expected, showing strength even when uncertainty quietly sits inside you. There is a restlessness in your spirit that you cannot fully explain, a feeling that something is not aligned even if everything appears normal on the outside. This is not something to dismiss. This is where your attention is being called. There has been a quiet test in your life, not announced, not explained, but lived through every choice you made and every moment you decided to keep going despite not having all the answers. And now you are standing at a point where ignoring it is no longer as easy as it once was. You are at a crossroads that only you can feel, a place where the decision is not visible to others but deeply real within you. You are being pulled between what is familiar and what is true, between what feels safe and what feels right. Staying where you are may feel easier, but something inside you knows it is no longer enough. Moving forward may feel uncertain, but something inside you knows it is necessary. This is the choice before you, and it matters more than you realize because it is shaping not just your next step, but the direction of your life. Every time you avoid it, that feeling returns, quieter but stronger, reminding you that this is not something you can leave behind without consequence. I do not rush you, but I do not leave you without guidance. I place truth within you so that no matter how much noise surrounds you, you can still find clarity if you choose to listen. You have been looking for answers outside yourself, hoping for a clear sign that removes all doubt before you act. But the path you are meant to walk does not reveal itself all at once. It unfolds when you begin to trust what you already feel. You do not need every answer right now. You only need to stop turning away from what you already know. This moment is not here to pressure you. It is here to awaken you to something you have been sensing for a long time. If you're watching this message, and you truly believe in God and try to follow His path in your life, then you have an opportunity to offer a small act of support. This isn't just about giving something material, it's about becoming part of something meaningful that helps this message reach others who may need it just as much as you did. In the description, you'll find a link where you can contribute in a simple and accessible way. Your support doesn't have to be large to matter. Even a small contribution carries intention and purpose. You can choose to support with $3, $5, or $10, and even the minimum amount is enough to make a difference. What matters most is your willingness to be part of this shared purpose. When you choose to support, you're not just helping financially. You're joining a greater movement of awareness, growth, and connection. You become someone who is actively participating, not just observing from a distance. This is your chance to take what you feel in this moment and turn it into action. If something within you is encouraging you to take that step, don't ignore it. Follow that feeling. You can go to the link in the description and offer your support with ease. Even the smallest contribution can travel far, reaching someone else at the exact moment they need guidance. And in doing so, you help keep this message alive, moving forward, and touching lives beyond what you can see. There are patterns in your life that are no longer hidden from you, even if you have tried not to focus on them. Situations repeat in different forms, emotions return with familiar intensity, and moments that seem new carry something deeply known beneath them. This is not coincidence. This is direction. You have outgrown certain environments, certain connections, and even certain ways of thinking. But part of you is still holding on. Not because it serves you, but because it feels familiar, and familiarity often disguises itself as safety. Yet what feels safe is not always what allows you to grow, and what feels comfortable is not always what aligns with your truth. The choice before you is not just about what you will do next, it is about who you are allowing yourself to become. Staying where you are is a decision. Ignoring what you feel is a decision. Choosing comfort over growth is a decision, and each one shapes your path in ways that cannot be undone later. You are not stuck, and you are not without direction. You are being asked to become aware, to recognize what has been placed within you, and to stop pretending that you do not see it. This moment matters, because you are ready to see it clearly, ready to acknowledge what you have been avoiding, and ready to take a step, even if it feels small. You have been asking for clarity, for something that feels undeniable, something that settles the questions that keep rising within you. This is that moment, not because everything is suddenly obvious, but because what you feel right now is truth moving closer to the surface. I do not create confusion within you, and I do not leave you without direction. What you are experiencing is the difference between what you have been accepting and what is actually meant for you. There are parts of your life that no longer align with who you are becoming. And you have sensed it in subtle ways. In the way your energy shifts, in the way your peace feels disturbed without a clear reason, in the way something inside you pulls back even when you try to move forward. These are not small things to overlook. They are signals that deserve your attention. There is something you continue to return to, something that feels familiar enough to hold on to, yet leaves you unsettled every time you engage with it. You have tried to make sense of it, to give it more time, to believe that it will eventually feel right again, but deep within you already know what is happening. I do not allow discomfort to stay without purpose, and when something consistently takes more from you than it gives, it is not there for you to hold on to, it is there for you to understand and release. You are not being asked to endure what weakens you, you are being guided to recognize it. This is where many hesitate, because letting go feels uncertain. Even when holding on feels heavy. You must begin to see the difference between what challenges you and what drains you, because they are not the same. Challenge strengthens you, it pushes you forward even when it feels difficult. But it does not take away your sense of self. What drains you slowly pulls you away from who you are, it creates confusion instead of clarity, and it leaves you questioning your own direction. What you are facing right now is not meant to break you, it is meant to show you where your boundaries have not yet been honored. Ignoring this will not make it disappear, it will only make the signal stronger. Because I do not allow you to remain unaware when you are ready to see. You have been protected more than you realize, guided away from paths that would have led you further into confusion, even when it felt like things were not going your way. There were moments when something did not work out, when something was taken away or delayed, and you questioned why it happened that way. But those moments were not losses, they were redirections. You were being kept from something that was not aligned with your path, even if you could not see it at the time. Protection does not always feel comfortable. Sometimes it feels like something is being removed before you understand its purpose. But it is always working in your favor. Now you are being asked to take part in that protection, not by force but through awareness. You can no longer say that you do not see what is happening, because the pattern has revealed itself to you. You know where your energy feels heavy, you know where your peace is disturbed, and you know what you have been holding on to that no longer supports you. This is where your responsibility begins. Because once you recognize the truth, you are no longer in the same place of uncertainty. You are standing in clarity, even if you are not fully ready to act on it yet. And that clarity changes everything. If you continue to ignore what you feel, you will notice a growing distance between where you are and where you are meant to be. Not as a punishment, but as a natural result of misalignment. The longer you stay in what does not belong to your path, the heavier it will feel, and the more resistance you will experience. This is not meant to harm you, it is meant to guide you back to what is right for you. I do not force you to move, but I will continue to show you where movement is needed until you are ready to respond. This is the warning you have been sensing, not something to fear, but something to understand. You are not meant to settle into something that slowly takes away your clarity and your sense of direction. You are meant to recognize when something no longer serves you and choose differently. That choice may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is the step that leads you back into alignment. You are not losing anything that is truly meant for you. You are creating space for what actually belongs in your life. Listen carefully to what you feel when everything is quiet, because that is where truth speaks most clearly. Notice what brings you peace and what disturbs it. Notice what feels natural and what feels forced. These are not random experiences, they are guidance that has always been available to you. The more you listen, the clearer it becomes, and the more you trust it, the easier your path begins to feel. You are not alone in this process. I am still guiding you, still placing understanding within you, and still leading you toward what is right. But you must meet that guidance with awareness. Because this is the moment where you stop ignoring the truth and begin to recognize it fully. There is a shift beginning to take place within you, and it is not you it is the result of everything you have started to recognize. You are no longer seeing things the same way, and what once felt acceptable is now starting to feel distant, even if you have not fully stepped away from it yet. This is how separation begins, not through force, but through awareness that changes your connection to what no longer aligns with you. You may still be physically present in certain situations, still connected to certain people or patterns, but something inside you has already begun to detach. You can feel it in the way your energy responds, in the way your thoughts shift, in the way your tolerance for what drains you has quietly lowered. This process may feel unfamiliar, because part of you is still adjusting to the idea of letting go without fully understanding what comes next. You are used to holding on, to maintaining what is known, to staying connected even when it no longer feels right. But now you are being guided differently. You are being shown that not everything is meant to stay, and not everything that leaves is a loss. Some things must fall away so that your path becomes clearer, so that your energy is no longer divided, and so that you can move forward without carrying what was never meant to continue with you. This is not abandonment, and it is not rejection, it is alignment taking shape in your life. As this separation unfolds, you may notice that certain connections begin to feel distant without conflict. Conversations may become less meaningful, and situations that once held your attention may no longer interest you in the same way. This is not something to force or resist, it is something to observe and understand. You are not being asked to create distance through anger or reaction. You are being guided to allow natural distance where alignment no longer exists. This is how protection works, quietly and steadily, without disruption, but with clear intention. What no longer matches your energy begins to move away, and what is meant for you begins to move closer. You must not confuse this process with loneliness, because you are not being left without support. You are being repositioned, placed in alignment with what truly belongs in your life. There are spaces and connections that will meet you where you are going, not where you have been, but they cannot fully enter your life while you are still holding on to what no longer fits. This is why release is necessary, not as something to fear, but as something that creates room for what is right. You are not losing your place, you are finding it more clearly than before. Protection is surrounding you in ways you may not immediately recognize, guiding your steps, adjusting your path, and removing what could pull you away from your direction. There have been moments when something did not go as you expected, when something ended or changed without your control. And it felt confusing at the time. But those moments were not working against you, they were working for you. You were being shielded from what was not meant to continue, even if you could not see the full picture then. Now you are beginning to understand that not everything that leaves is meant to return. You are also being protected from your own hesitation, from the tendency to hold on longer than necessary, from the desire to remain in what feels familiar even when it no longer serves you. This is why your awareness has become stronger, why your feelings have become clearer, and why ignoring them has become more difficult. You are being guided to trust yourself more deeply, to listen without doubting what you feel, and to act in alignment with that understanding. This is not about becoming distant from everything. It is about becoming aligned with what is true for you. As you continue through this process, you may feel moments of uncertainty, times when you question whether you are doing the right thing by allowing this distance to form. But understand this, alignment does not always feel comfortable in the beginning, especially when you are used to holding on. What you are experiencing is the transition between who you were and who you are becoming. It requires adjustment. patience, and trust in what you cannot fully see yet. But every step you take in awareness strengthens your connection to what is meant for you. Stay grounded in what you feel, not in what you fear. Fear will try to pull you back into what is familiar, even if it no longer supports you. But what you feel, that quiet sense of knowing within you, will continue to guide you forward. You are not being left without direction. You are being led into a clearer one. This is where you begin to stand more firmly in your truth, where you no longer need to question every feeling, and where you begin to move with a sense of quiet certainty that was not there before. This is separation, not as loss, but as protection, not as distance, but as alignment unfolding exactly as it should. If you're watching this message, and you truly believe in God and try to follow His path in your life, then you have an opportunity to offer a small act of support. This isn't just about giving something material. It's about becoming part of something meaningful that helps this message reach others who may need it just as much as you did. In the description, you'll find a link where you can contribute in a simple and accessible way. Your support doesn't have to be large to matter. Even a small contribution carries intention and purpose. You can choose to support with $3, $5, or $10, and even the minimum amount is enough to make a difference. What matters most is your willingness to be part of this shared purpose. When you choose to support, you're not just helping financially, you're joining a greater movement of awareness, growth, and connection. You become someone who is actively participating, not just observing from a distance. This is your chance to take what you feel in this moment and turn it into action. If something within you is encouraging you to take that step, don't ignore it. Follow that feeling. You can go to the link in the description and offer your support with ease. Even the smallest contribution can travel far, reaching someone else at the exact moment they need guidance. And in doing so, you help keep this message alive, moving forward, and touching lives beyond what you can see. What you are feeling now is not the same uncertainty that once followed you. It is something quieter, something steadier. Something that does not rush you but gently settles within you. This is where healing begins, not as a sudden change, but as a gradual return to yourself. You have carried more than you were meant to hold. You have stayed in places longer than you needed to, and you have questioned yourself more than necessary. But none of that has taken you away from your path. It has brought you here, to a moment where you can finally see more clearly. Where the weight you carried no longer feels permanent, and where your awareness begins to replace your confusion. I have not left you at any point, even in the moments where you felt disconnected or unsure of what was happening in your life. I was there in the silence, in the pauses, in the delays that did not make sense at the time. Those moments were not empty, they were preparing you, softening what needed to change, and guiding you toward a place where you could receive clarity without resistance. You may not have understood it then, but you are beginning to understand it now. What once felt like uncertainty is now becoming understanding, and what once felt like heaviness is slowly becoming release. Healing does not mean that everything changes at once, and it does not mean that you will never feel doubt again. It means that you begin to trust yourself in a way you did not before. That you begin to recognize your own strength without needing constant reassurance, and that you begin to move forward without carrying what was never meant to stay. You are not being asked to become someone new. You are being guided back to who you have always been beneath everything you carried. That is why this moment feels different, because it is not about becoming, it is about remembering. There is a promise within this process. One that does not depend on external outcomes or immediate results. It is the promise that when you choose alignment, when you listen to what has been placed within you, and when you act with awareness instead of avoidance, your path begins to open in ways that feel natural instead of forced. You will begin to notice that what once required effort now flows more easily, that what once felt confusing now feels clearer, and that what once drained you no longer holds the same power over you. This is not this is what happens when you move in alignment with your truth. You are not walking into emptiness by letting go. You are stepping into space that is ready to be filled with what truly belongs to you. There are connections that will meet you with understanding, opportunities that will align with your direction, and moments that will feel right without needing to be questioned. But these things require space, And that space is created when you release what no longer fits. You are not losing what is meant for you, you are making room for it. This is part of the promise, that what is aligned will remain, and what is not will gently fall away without taking from you what truly matters. Trust will become easier for you, not because everything around you is certain, but because you will begin to feel certain within yourself. You will no longer need constant signs or validation to confirm what you already sense. You will recognize the difference between fear and guidance, between hesitation and truth, and you will move with a quiet confidence that does not need to be explained to anyone else. This is where your strength settles, not in control, but in awareness, not in forcing outcomes, but in allowing alignment to guide you. There will still be moments where you pause, where you reflect, where you consider your next step carefully, but those moments will no longer be filled with the same doubt that once held you back. Instead, they will be filled with understanding, with a deeper connection to yourself, and with a sense of calm that comes from knowing you are no longer ignoring what you feel. You are moving with it, not against it. This is what changes everything, not the outside world, but the way you stand within it. So remain aware of what you feel, remain honest with yourself about what no longer aligns, and remain open to what is beginning to take its place. You are not behind, you are not lost, and you are not too late to choose differently. You are exactly where you need to be to recognize what matters and to move forward with clarity. And as you continue from this moment, remember that you are guided, protected, and supported in ways you may not always see, but will continue to feel more clearly with every step you take.